Still better than a frost, though.
Good people, come up close and have a smell. Fresh bread. And pour yourself a bit of fresh milk to drink.
God be with you.
Master Bailiff, is there anything of interest going on here?
Nothing of interest to me, thank Christ.
You look like you've got a lot on your plate, Master Bailiff. Is work keeping you busy?
Busy? I've had so many visitors I wouldn't wonder if the door fell off its hinges.
What's going on?
I've been given the task of putting some of the Scarlet's refugees to work. It's not that there's a shortage of jobs, the problem's sharing them out fairly.
I understand. Everyone has mouths to feed.
The worst part is they won't tell you who really needs a job the most, but you might be able to help, Henry.
How?
They're like to be more honest with you, so you can find out who's in the most need. And you can decide for yourself who'll do what. Will you help?
If you need help, I'll do whatever I can.
You're a godsend. I'm sure it won't take too long. You know how the refugees are getting on, don't you? But ask around if you need to find out more.
What kind of work are we talking about?
Well, old Hagen is looking for a cook, and we need 5 carriers.
A cook and 5 water carriers. That sounds simple enough. Is there a problem?
A little. We need 3 water carriers, but the other 2 will have to carry, begging your pardon, shit. Or as the Pope would say, excrement.
Is there anyone who can tell me more about it?
Yes, the merchant Conrad Hagen is the one looking for a cook, so you can talk to him. And young Alex will know which of the Scarlet's folk are best suited to the job.
How come that's such a cause for concern?
For one thing, they're afraid of me. And I can't get a straight answer out of any of them. So how the hell am I supposed to make the right choice?
Oh, they're desperate. You can't blame them.
I don't, but I might end up picking some good-for-nothing who'll just booze his wages away.
Can you tell me anything more about the cook?
You'll have to ask Hagen yourself. I couldn't get a straightforward answer out of him. Maybe he's changed his mind.
What do I need to know about the water carriers?
We need 3. Right now, some of the burgers' hands are doing the job.
And they need to go all the way down to the river for water.
Of course, where else would they get it? Gallows Hill? It's not an easy job, but someone has to do it.
What can you tell me about the other carriers?
It's dirty, but it's a job that needs to be done. There'll be more than enough work for them. Some places are overflowing.
Sounds disgusting. Why would anyone want the job?
If all else fails, I'll pay 2 groschen for every 1 I pay the water carriers. That might convince someone.
That's all I need to know.
Good luck, then. Good luck to you.
Hey!
Garlic,
You!
carrots,
Stop right where you are!
onions, all that grows in the ground.
Surrender!
Hey!
Come right up.
Got you! And now I'll fix you good and proper. You'll soon learn what justice means. You should have thought twice about what you're doing. That will land you a fat fine.
Bread feet, just this morning. Bread.
Oh, come on, my friend. You know I'm in the service of Sir Radzig Cobbler, don't you?
What of it? The law applies to everyone.
Get them.
All right, here you are.
All right,
Baked goods fresh from the
just make sure it doesn't happen again.
Garlic, onions, mushrooms, and asparagus. Come right up. No need to be shy.
with salt, caraway seeds, garlic, and more. You'll find it nowhere else.
God be with you.
I'd like to ask about our former neighbours. There are jobs here for some of them, and I have to pick people.
The bailiff told me about it. He still wants our people to do the knacker's job?
What of it? It will benefit everyone.
Not everyone. There's not enough work for everyone, and no one wants to do the knacker's job.
But having a job could save someone's life.
Water carrying, maybe. But if they have to do a job that's not fit for a decent person, only for the knacker or the executioner's servant?
So you think there's no point in it? That it's better to beg than have a job, even if it is hauling shit?
You forget that that's a job for the knacker's hired hand, not for displaced people. When we return to Skalitz, they'll never be able to rid themselves of the stink.
I'm also looking for a cook. Do you know of a good cook who's looking for work?
Well, there's Agnes. I've heard she can cook better than anyone. Only...
Well, what's the problem? Did something happen to her?
No, it's just that I haven't seen her around here for ages. I believe she's cooking for the local parish priest and living at the presbytery. So I don't think she's in need of work.
So, do you know who's most in need of some coin and is fit for hard work?
Everyone's in need of coin, but not everyone is fit for such work.
Well, who should I talk to then? Where will I find them?
I'll talk to them myself and send them to meet you in front of the Rathaus, so they'll all be in one place. It'll take me a while, though.
Thanks. I'll go.
Farewell.
Sigismund and his murderers took everything I had.
God be with you. Good luck to you.
Blessed Virgin, disdain not our supplications in our distress, but deliver.
Good day. What do you want?
Are you Agnes, who works at St. James?
I am. Or I did, before those devils rolled in and burnt down Skalitz. Why do you ask?
I'm looking for a good cook and housekeeper, and everyone I asked sent me to you.
I've been blessed by God.
So it seems. Anyway, the local merchant wants someone who can cook food fit for nobility and take care of his household.
Well, Father Francis was very fond of good food, but I can't just go serve someone else.
Why not?
Because I'm still Father Francis's housekeeper.
But I heard he fled and isn't coming back.
Don't pay any attention. They're just rumours. I'm still his housekeeper.
Where's Father Francis now?
I don't know. The last time I saw him, he was going to confession in Sasau. But that was before all these terrible things happened. I've heard no word of him since then.
Does he go to Sasau often? Where does he stay when he's there?
Not so often. About once a month. He always used to stay in the inn near the monastery, so he wouldn't have far to go.
I'll ask around about what happened to Father Francis. I'll let you know.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Good neighbors. I live like you did, so respect it.
Jesus Christ be praised.
The bailiff sent me. He said you're looking for a cook.
That's right. I'm searching for a good cook, but I've said all that to our esteemed bailiff.
Well, I offered the bailiff my help because I know the Skalitz folk.
Ah, I see. Well, ask away then.
Do you have any particular requirements for the new cook?
Well, it would be an advantage if she knew how to cook.
Well, yes, but the bailiff said you had other conditions.
Well, I want a woman who's capable of looking after the house when I'm away on business.
Young? Nimble?
What for? I want her to impress people with her food, not her face.
I understand. Sorry. I also heard there are vacant carrier jobs.
Yes, yes. I'm surprised it hasn't occurred to anyone sooner. It will certainly benefit the city if the burghers don't have to send their own servants.
It will benefit my people as well.
Of course, it goes without saying.
I also heard that you need workers to carry, to empty latrines.
It's not dignified to talk of such manners. That's not a concern for decent people.
But I need to know...
Enough. I won't have such talk in my home. Good luck to you.
Father, I need your help urgently.
You? I recognize you. You're the Skalitz blacksmith's son.
Yes, that I am.
I'm sorry. What did you want?
It may sound strange, but I need you to go back to St. James. The locals need their spiritual shepherd.
No, certainly not, my boy. That's one place I shan't be going back to.
How did you manage to get out of Skalitz?
I didn't. I wasn't there during the raid. I was here at Sasau for confession.
And why aren't you with our folks at Ratai? What if Sir Radzig has need of you?
Look, here I'm an honored guest and well cared for. In Ratai, there's hardly room enough for the refugees already there. And what's more, the parish priest doesn't like me, which happens to be mutual. The last thing I want to be doing is haggling with him over where I can sleep or how many slices of bread I'm allowed to eat.
He certainly isn't known for being generous. Why? It is your parish, after all.
A parish that's little but a ruin these days. And besides, God forgive me, but I'm afraid. All kinds of ruffians are on the rampage around Skalitz.
It isn't completely safe, but most of them are gone.
As my father used to say, why take the risk?
Don't you feel any shame? Think of all those Christians who faced death and never betrayed their faith.
That's something else entirely.
No, it's not. They weren't afraid to face death, and you're squirming at the thought of some slight danger.
Haven't you seen how they ransacked the place? Does that seem slight to you? Well, not to me.
The Cumans are gone, but the townsfolk won't come back. And why should they, when the man who ought to set an example, the one they look up to, is shitting himself?
I am ashamed. More than you can imagine, but not quite enough to get myself killed for it. I'm a man of the cloth, not a man at arms. So I shall politely decline your offer.
Do tell me, Father, why don't you like the Ratai priest exactly?
Have you never met him? Now, there's a man without any fellow feeling or morals. When he sits in judgment, he's needlessly cruel. Yet when he's censored, he whines and complains. He thinks only of himself and his own desires.
You're right. He really is like that. But how can you criticize him when you're turning your back on your calling out of fear?
That's not the same thing at all.
Isn't it? Maybe not to you or him, but the people won't see it that way. You've both failed your flocks.
You can't possibly mean that. I'm nothing like that ignoramus.
It comes down to the same thing in the end. Having a scoundrel for a priest or having nobody at all. You have a calling, so follow it.
I don't know who you think you are to sit in judgment on me, but I've no desire to get killed. When Sir Radzig returns to Skalitz, that's when I shall too, and not a day before.
As you wish. What if they increased your income? Would that convince you?
My boy, my boy. I get tithes from the parishioners, and since my flock amounts to a flock of ravens these days, it won't come to much.
I know. That's why I've arranged a small collection for you, so you'll have something to live on before the parishioners return.
So that's what you're about. And how much have you put together?
Are we agreed?
That's not enough. Your kind of horse trading is enough to insult a man. You know what? Just go. Take care now.
Father, when do you plan to return to St. James?
I beg your pardon. Why do you ask, my boy?
Your housekeeper, Agnes, is in Ratai and doesn't want to work for anyone else. She's waiting for your return.
So she survived. Thank the Lord. I prayed for her and all who suffered, but I'm not going back. Tell her I appreciate her concern, but to look out for herself now.
May the Lord watch over you.
Good day to you.
You're one of the people interested in work?
Well, Alex told me that I'm supposed to ask about a job carrying water.
That's right. But first, I'll ask you a few questions. You are...
Peter. But everyone calls me Rock. There was more than enough Peters in the mines, and not just in the mines. So...
At the mines? So you're a miner?
That's right. I worked in the East Shaft, and I hope I'll be working there again. Now that I think of it, have you heard anything from their lordships? When will they open the mines again?
I have no idea what their lordships plan to do about it.
All right. I just thought you might have heard something.
How are you holding up?
You mean this here? Well, I've got feeling back in my arm again.
What happened to it, anyway?
That time in Skalitz. I was knocked down by a horse, but it's better now.
Look, I can see by the way your arm is hanging it's not healed. You can't carry water like that.
Oh, come on. I owe money to the Sawbones and I need the work to pay for it. I'll give you anything you want.
I can't. I have to choose suitable people for the job and you need to heal.
But please, I... Take care now. Take care now.
What do you want from me?
Sorry to interrupt, but it sounded like you might need some help with something.
What? No, nothing. What did you hear?
That you might have hidden...
You heard wrong. There's nothing hidden anywhere. And you leave my man alone. Understand?
As you wish.
Goodbye.
Do you want something?
I'd like to ask a favor of you, Hal.
Of course. What is it?
I heard you're picking people to carry water. No one needs the job more than Antonia.
Adam never mentioned any Antonia.
I'm not surprised. But Antonia really needs that job.
Do you think she'll be able to handle carrying those buckets? It's quite far, and up that hill.
She's no princess. She's tough enough.
All right. I'll bear it in mind.
Bear it in mind? What does that mean?
It means I'll think about it. The bailiff has the last word.
Well, if he's got something against giving the job to a woman, then try and get Vincent in at least. He might not have anyone on their deathbed, but his mother has no one else.
these cucumbers. They'll stay firm all winter. Buy 'em before someone else does.
Bread, fresh bread. Bread.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Garlic soup for the winter, onions.
You hear about the water carrying?
Aye. I can haul water all day long.
So, do you want the job? There's plenty of other folk that will take it if you don't.
I do. I want it. What do I have to do?
So tell me, what was your trade before?
I was a miner, then a farm laborer, then I was a servant, then I fled from Scullets and ended up here.
Quite the factotum, aren't you? Was none of those jobs good enough for you?
I liked them all, but they were always sending me to do something else. Pickman, they'd say. Leave this and go and do that.
Pickman. That's your name?
Actually, my real name's Vassal, but they call me Pickman.
Is that German?
No. It's from when I was in the mines, digging with a pick.
Besides water, you could carry... you could empty latrines.
What? Carry shit? That'd be a new one for me. No, it's not a thing I'd go around boasting about.
Carrots that'll make you and your family happy. Onions that'll make you cry, and garlic that'll keep evil spirits at bay.
That's enough for now.
So, we're agreed then? When do I start working?
Look, the bailiff is the one who'll decide after I report back to him.
So, I might not get the job? I'll be in the shit if I don't. Understand?
Good luck to you. Fresh. Come right up.
Good day to you.
You're here about the water carrying?
I am. Where do I get some pails?
Hold your horses. We haven't decided yet who gets the job. I have to ask you a few things first.
What for? I can handle the job. But ask away.
What trade did you do before?
I worked in the mines, at the winch. You've heard of Tonda the winch, right? Strong as a bull.
Ah, the name sounds familiar. You were one of the new miners, weren't you?
I was. I came last autumn. The winter was mild enough to work the mines, and I showed everyone I was a hard worker. So do I get the job?
We're not finished yet. What would you give me if I recommended you?
What could I give when I don't have a pot to piss in? All I have is a strong arm. Whenever I hit anything or anyone, they stay hit.
Well, if I get you the job, will you show me how to really hit someone hard?
I could. Deal, then.
Deal. I know everything I need.
So, can I go carry water, then?
Not yet. I'll tell the bailiff and he'll choose.
Well, I hope he chooses me. Otherwise, I might be very angry.
I'll bear that in mind.
Take care now.
Jesus Christ be praised.
You're interested in carrying water?
I am. It's about time something good came to decent folk.
I agree. Now, I'll ask you a few questions.
What? But I want the work and I deserve it. Keep your questions for good-for-nothings.
What makes you so deserving? How did you make a living before this?
I was the owner of a mine. Well, I had a lease on it. But in our line of work, it amounts to the same thing.
The chief, eh? But have you ever hauled a bucket of ore up a hill?
There's no hill in a mine. Just a shaft with a winch.
There's also the option of, emptying latrines.
Are you trying to insult me? That's no job for a decent Christian.
True. That's why it pays double.
Double, hey? Well, that's not bad, but for a man of my stature, no doubt there are more needy souls. Double.
What would you give me if I put in a good word for you?
So that's how it is it? An honest person can't get a job, only one who'll stoop to bribing?
Come now. I just want to help, but I'll have my job cut out persuading the bailiff to take you.
All right. I don't have anything, but I know the armourer in Sasau, and he'll give you a good price if I have a word with him.
Cheap armour might come in handy, all right? Done.
Done. As soon as I get the job, come and see me, and I'll tell you all about it.
That's enough for now.
Farewell.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Are you here on account of the water carrying?
Yes, I am. My name is Vincent.
Nice to meet you. I'll ask a few questions and we'll see, all right?
Fine. Ask away.
What did you do before this?
I work for my father.
Doing what? Who's your father, anyway?
He was Moimir. We had a farm near Scarlet's.
Really? His farmhands came to the tavern a lot, but I never saw you there.
I don't go to taverns.
How are you holding up?
Well, I'm alive. But I miss my father. And the farm, too. But Ma says there's no use dwelling on it. Life must go on.
So you're probably here about carrying water, right?
Aye. I want to carry water.
That's all? You've nothing more to add?
That's what's needed, ain't it?
That's enough for now.
May the Lord watch over you.
I could do with a bite to eat.
Garlic soup for the winter, onion soup.
God save you. What can I do for you?
I know everything I need to know to pick the carriers.
Splendid. I'll be glad to get this damn business off my back. So how have you decided?
So, how do we do this? Do I just give you their names, or should I send for them?
Just tell me their names and whether they should carry water or something else. Don't worry, I'll send for them.
Antonia.
What? A woman?
Yeah, is that a problem? You never said it had to be only men.
I didn't, but I kind of assumed it would be clear. It's a long walk with a heavy load, man's work.
She can handle the job, have no fear.
Let's hope so. You'll have to answer to me if she can't. Where do we put her, then?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
Vincent, Moimir's son.
Vincent? Never heard of him. What do you think he should do?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
Cornelius.
Ah, Cornelius. I had him here once looking for a job. Where do you want to put him? I'd like to see him with buckets of shit.
Carrying shit.
Good. One person for this job. Next?
Vasil. Goes by the moniker of Pickman.
Pickman. I hope he doesn't have a history of pickpocketing.
No. They call him Pickman because he worked in the silver mines, and he was very keen with the pick. So much so, he managed to chop off 2 of his fingers.
Well, he can't do too much damage with a bucket, I suppose. Where do you want to put him?
Carrying shit.
Good. One person for this job. Next?
Tonda. They call him the Winch.
The Winch. Ought to be good with a bucket anyway. What's he going to do?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
That's it.
Good. All decided. Now about the cook's job.
I'd like to talk to you again about that job. That's all I need to know.
Good luck, then. Farewell.
All the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Amen.
God be with you.
I asked around in Sasau. Father Francis is doing well in Sasau. He has no plans to return to St. James anytime soon.
You talked to him? How is he doing? Doesn't he need his cassock fixed? He's always tearing it. There isn't a pew or a step he hasn't tripped over at one time or another.
I asked the abbot. He said they have work for him elsewhere and that St. James will have to wait.
Wait, I remember the last time. We had to go to Sasau for almost 2 years. I probably won't even live that long.
That won't be that bad. Meanwhile, you can work at Master Hagen's house and who knows? You might even find you like it.
You're probably right. What else can I do at my age? And the presbytery is too big for one woman alone.
So you agree you'll go and work for Hagen?
Isn't that what I just said? I'll go and do housekeeping for him.
May the Lord watch over you.
I chose a cook as well. Should I tell you or go to Hagen?
Tell me who you chose and I'll take care of it.
I chose old Agnes for the cook's job. I had a job convincing her, but it was worth it. She's the best cook around.
Glad to hear it. I'll have to drop in on Hagen for lunch sometime.
Master Bailiff, is there anything of interest going on here?
Nothing of interest to me, thank Christ.
Good luck to you.